Hey guys, welcome back. DripCoach here with Drip and Farm for Poverty, where we don't trust, we verify, and operate with integrity and transparency. Let's dive into a hot topic that's got everyone talking, and it's the potential approval of the Ethereum ETF and its effects on the market. We're going to break down kind of the bullish, the normal, and bearish speculation for ETH and how that relates to other altcoins, because you guys know I'm a big fan of Raoul Pal's content, and he's talking about the banana zone and other alts. And that's kind of what we're interested in. Like, you may feel like you're too late to the party for Bitcoin, but alts is where a lot of gains can be made, as long as Rob says, you don't fuck this up and sacrifice your Bitcoin positions. So let's start with the bullish outlook on the ETF and for ETH. So the buzz around the potential ETF approval started way back in January, where roughly like a 60% chance of approval for the ETF. Now, fast forward, here we are 5 months later, and it's created a wave of optimism. Analysts like Eric Balkunis and James Seyfarth from Bloomberg have increased the chances from their previous 75 to 60 now to 75% approval based off of the recent updates. This shift is largely due to the more favorable stance from the SEC, which has already set a precedent with the approval of several Bitcoin ETFs earlier this year. Now let's fast forward to literally just 2 days ago in the US, where the SEC approved the 19B filings forms associated with 8 spot ETFs, paving the way for the listings on US exchanges. So we have the 8, which ones were they? They were in here somewhere. Here we go. Good old Brave browser puts that up there for you. So May 23rd, ETFs from VanEck, Fidelity, Franklin, Grayscale, Bitwise, ARK Invest, 21 Shares, Invesco, Galaxy, and the most important, BlackRock, which they threw in at the end. So with these 8 getting their 19B-4 forms approved, this kind of points the way that we could see a massive influx of institutional investments that could push ETH prices to new all-time highs, potentially shattering the previous all-time highs of 5,000. We still got a ways to go from that. We haven't even passed the previous all-time high of 4,800. And I think we just recently got to 4s again earlier this year, did we? No, maybe not. Thought we did. Yeah, we did. We broke the 4s again this year for the first time, March 12th. And then kind of trickle back down. So we still got a ways to go for this. We saw that BTC passed its previous cycle all-time highs, but ETH hasn't done that yet. Not have any of the other alts either that I'm aware of. So there's still some wiggle room. But with the ETF, with ETH currently trading around 3,700 and a surge to over 5,000 by the end of the year is a real possibility. That's kind of the bullish scenario. Now, the normal scenario is more conservative, which there is optimism associated with the SEC's decision, but it factors in the fact that it's still pending and the regulatory process can be unpredictable. And we know that there's a lot of manipulation behind the scene. We know that big money is not getting in unless they can make money as well. So currently there's about a 60 to 75% of approval, but we could see potential delays from the Ethereum applications. So even though they have approved the 19B filings, we still have the second half of the application process, which requires the actual SEC sign off on the S1 documents, which they can delay. And they could potentially, it's hard for me to say, I don't really follow the political landscape a lot, but what I heard from other people who do is that we know that previously Biden was looking to veto any kind of crypto regulation support. And then the theory is that some big money kind of pushed the envelope and changed things around. And Trump was recently touting how he would be a pro-crypto president, so vote for him. So to avoid kind of losing, what would you call that? Influence, I guess you could say. And from which we know the money that controls everything behind the scenes, these guys are making money off these ETFs and Bitcoin, and they want bigger slices of this pie. And it's not the money that they want the control. And I believe eventually controlling these assets or getting familiar with them allows them to get better understanding to usher in their own agenda, CBDCs and things of that nature. So you got to like get into the game to see how the game is played. You can't sit on the sidelines because they see the landscape is changing. So I think my tinfoil hat is that this is just kind of a canary in the coal mine towards more nefarious activity, which can lead to the bearish scenario of buying the rumor, selling the news. So we know the first half is approved. We could easily get a delay like we saw with the Bitcoin ETFs, which could cause a sell-off, which could cause a better, more favorable entry position for the ETFs later on this year, alongside the election campaigns, things of that nature, right? So there's a lot still unknown about this, and I'm gonna actually cover some more of the tinfoil hat stuff in another video about what's kind of going on behind the scenes with these ETFs. But all in all, because we are already here, this is still good in the long term for crypto blockchain technology development and advancement. Definitely it can, like, you know, cripple certain platforms and it can skyrocket others. But when you understand the underlying tech and what this opportunity actually is, then we go back to Rob Powell's thesis, don't fuck this up, and there's still tons of opportunity. So there you have it. In conclusion, 3 potential outcomes for Ethereum and the broader crypto markets as we await the SEC's decision on the Ethereum ETFs. Now, I didn't say what the bearish case was for that dollar value for ETH, but it could easily jump back down into the below 3,000 mark. Like that would be more like a normal case, not even really bearish. Bearish would be like back down to 2,000s, which I don't think we'd actually see, but I could definitely see if we get a sell the news event and a delay, then it would not be hard for ETH to retrace. Literally, it was less than 3,000 back May 15th, right? So what that means for you all is, again, don't fuck this up. So if that delay comes in, or if there's a sell-off, that is your opportunity to buy, to load up, because you're following this content, you're tapped in, you're digesting the broader narrative. You know that eventually this cannot be stopped. And again, the political landscape is shifting towards it, and the big money players want their piece of the pie. So inevitably, one way or another, this will indeed be adopted. So all I'm really trying to say is, regardless of the normal, the bearish, or the bullish case, whatever you see in the news, realize that you got to look behind the curtain and that this entire industry is not going anywhere. So when you look at your top alts, you can still pretty much be safe with any of those investments. And one of my thesis is what is actually going to happen with BNB. You guys know, of course, because I was tied to that with Drip and all that stuff, but being that they are still the number, let's jump back and forth, number 1, number 2. All right, according to the AI summary, Binance is still the largest cryptocurrency exchange by trading volume with 3.3 trillion, and Coinbase, 7 times, 8 times less than that. So again, my thesis, especially with potentially I'm kind of going on a segue, but I want you guys to know where my brain is going. My thesis, especially with CZ getting out of, or finishing his sentence later on this year, still smack dab in the middle of the bull run, is that we could see some crazy numbers from BNB still. So like, I know the big mover and a lot of hype is on Solana, but the simple fact that Binance has already been charged, already paid their fines, already settled with the SEC, all that stuff. Now, I don't think we'll see US adoption for it because of what happened, but that doesn't matter, because this 3.3 trillion that they're talking about isn't coming from the US anyway. So there's, the sovereign wealth funds in Saudi Arabia and all this other stuff that have the real money. So I think this is just like a sleeper, in my opinion. Of course, Solana's still great, but I feel like this just getting no attention because of its kind of centralized nature. I get that. And of course, because of the FUD, but because of all the FUD and that, it's like, to me, kind of a no brainer, because they passed that litmus test. Customer funds were SAFU. They paid the fund, they paid the fees, CZ serves them time. It's like, what better bull run kind of a narrative would you need? And they used to have a stable coin. They still do. It's still out there. So it's like, Jesus Christ, man, we'll see. So anyway, went off on a tangent, but just want you guys to know where my head is at and what I'm thinking. So the whole point of this is, yeah, pay attention to the news, but look behind the curtain, and then don't get kind of washed out of your bags and your position. Pay attention to what's going on. So if you found that valuable, smash that HBO special, help brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, lift daily.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.